welcome and please rise any public officials we have here in the meeting room. Our public officials. Thank you. I would also like to point out we have actually one of our very first companies who joined the Medina County Fiber, B3 Transportation. Somebody can please rise for that. There you go. Thank you very much. B3 was actually the first company that I called on as a sales call about 6 years ago when they were up in Brunswick. And we followed them here to Seville, and we've had a great partnership since then. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Dave Corrado. I'm the CEO of Medina County Fiber Network, which is a municipal-owned network that is open access. We provide internet, voice, and data center services for companies in Medina County. A municipal open access network sounds like a big mouthful, so let's break it down. Municipal means that it's community-owned. It's built by the community, for the community. It's for the benefit of the community, and that's very important to know. This is a movement we've seen across the country. There are about 200 municipal networks today. When I started this position 5.5 years ago, there were only about 50. So we are moving quickly, and this is catching on like wildfire. Open access. Think of a railroad track. And each train on that railroad track is a carrier. A carrier is somebody who sells internet and voice services. Instead of having every single carrier build their own railroad track, Medina County said, why don't we build one railroad track and charge the trains that are bringing the goods and services to your companies from where the trains get on the track, and that way we can all share. And that benefits the community because it brings choices, and that's what's important as we are moving forward with this type of infrastructure. Now, historically, we have seen municipal projects, infrastructure, community-owned projects do much better when they partner with a commercial entity. So today, the Medina County Fiber Network is pleased to announce a partnership with Neighborly, a venture-backed technology company that connects communities with capital for public infrastructure projects. And to speak more on this partnership is the president of Neighborly, Brian Snyder.
Well, that response after that clap was, this is the reason why we're here. This is awesome. Thanks for coming out today. Thank you, Dave, and thanks everyone for coming. This is an exciting day. This is something we've been working really hard for. We're here today to announce the launch of Medina County Fiber. And the community's first fiber to the home open access network. It'll bring affordable, reliable, and fast internet to the county. Open access networks are exactly that, open. Neighborly will own the infrastructure. We're simply bringing the infrastructure to your homes and to your businesses. And that will enable then multiple services to be provided across the network to give you different broadband than what you've been experiencing currently in Medina County. I think that's very important for as we're moving on into this technological age. Because of this model, it will take strong partnerships to bring this to fruition. We have been working with Medina County Fiber Networks over this past year to bring the best partners in the industry to make this dream a reality. Building a fiber network is building a utility, and the process we follow to achieve connectivity takes certain steps. One of those steps is hearing from the residents and business owners about what they would like to see from this network. We're asking the community to complete a survey, and I think it's listed everywhere throughout this area. So Medina County, or MedinaFiber.com. I even said it right there. Okay, but MedinaCountyFiber.com. Go to that website, complete the survey. We want to hear from you. This is a community network, and feedback from you is the most important. important thing that's going to push this network forward. And since this is a community network, you'll be able to control where we build. Based on the initial demands and the ones who truly need better broadband, we have chosen for our first phases the villages of Seville, and Westfield Center, and Guilford Township. We will be starting sign-ups in Seville first with construction planning to start over the summer. We met with, we met with the Village of Seville last night and kind of explained what we're going to be moving on to some of the next sign-up phases after survey and trying to educate even the next steps as we were moving past planning and moving into let's bring this thing to you. After we start in Seville, we'll move quickly to Westfield Center and Guilford. Within our phase one, we are also in discussions with Montville Township and Lodi. Based on demand and working with those communities, we will create a schedule to construct those networks as well. We are currently estimating phase one construction to take roughly 18 months and the entire county in 5 years. I can't stress enough the sign-up and feedback that we need to receive from you as a community. That is going to drive where we go. You heard Dave mention open access networks and how much the feedback from you is going to drive this. It's a community network from the start. Regardless if Neighborly is coming in to provide the funding to move this forward, it's still your network. And that's going to be overly stressed throughout this process. And we want to build something that you'll be proud of and will change the way everything occurs within the county. So it just keeps building on great momentum right now. But since we are the infrastructure owner, this would not happen without the providers who would be delivering services. And our first, the provider that will be listed, and obviously you can see all of them over here, Kelly's CEO, I5 will be providing the initial internet, voice, and cable TV for Seville for the initial phase ones, and then also expanding across the county as we build that. I5 ranks among the top for customer care. Number one in customer care, and in the top 3 in the nation for speed from speedtest.com. We went through a vetting process on who we were going to pick for some of these initial providers. iFiber is by far the best we've been able to work with. They have been in the open access network space for the past 20 years. So they've been working on this model and understand this model to where it takes a partnership from that infrastructure to where they can be enabled to provide the services they need. And through working in Washington State with the PUDs and how early that was done to where open access networks is still new to a lot of the areas across the country, we want to work with the team that's been doing it the longest, has the most experience, and one of the best success rates in the country. So we're very proud to have iFiber as one of the first providers in the network, and I think you're going to see a big change into what you're going to be able to do with their services compared to what you're receiving now. Dozy, James, also here. They will be the first telehealth provider on the network as well. They will be. They will be providing a demo later on, and we'll be looking at James here, so I don't know what that's going to be, but it'll show you the capabilities about what we can do. Through this, we're going to also be adding smart home applications. We're currently working on that process and how those services will be delivered. Smart home applications are changing quickly, but we want to build a package that is going to cater to what you need. Every house is going to want something different, but we want to bring you options. And right now, currently in the process, we're trying to establish what those services are. the network whenever it is enacted. Now, to show this off, we are also going to be creating a demonstration center. Our first demonstration center will be in Seville, and it will basically show you, again, bring your family in, show that what a gig really is. I've said this to in multiple meetings with a lot of you all in those meetings that you don't know what you don't know. You're used to the speed and the connectivity that you've had today. And when you see 100 symmetrical fiber service or a gig, what does that truly do for you? We want to show you that before we're even building out to the other areas. So you can bring your families in, bring your grandkids in, connect every iPad your kids have and see how it can still work. And then you'll have a better idea of when we come and connect your home. All right, I know what I'm already signing up for, what I'm going to get. We feel that's very important in educating and training on what you're going to be receiving when connectivity occurs. So to close out, flat out, Medina County Fiber means fiber broadband service that's fast and reliable and affordable. And we're going to continue to bring better competition, better services to the community that needs it. Thank you so much for your time today, and I appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Brian. We look forward to the demonstrations at the end of the event. So one big piece of any public or community-owned network is the support of the public officials. It is that support that takes the project forward and makes that successful as time goes on. So please welcome Commissioner Geisman and Commissioner Sledig, who will talk to you on what all this means for the county.
I am so pleased that we are going to have residential fiber. One of the first things that occurred when we decided to do this was, when are you going to put the residential in? And they were so disappointed that it was commercial. And so now we are addressing what some of the people wanted from the very beginning. I'm glad that train is going down the track of the southern tier of Medina County, because it's coming right over to Lodi, where I live. And just in the last couple years, my bundle has increased significantly from like $122 a month to $160 something a month. So I do expect to see lower costs for these services, and as you just heard, more services available. So yes, I am in support of this and plan to go to Lodi tonight, and Neighborly will be there at 7 o'clock to give my support.
Good afternoon. This project is one of my absolute passion projects, and I am so excited to be here today, and I'd like to thank you all for coming. I'd also like to welcome Medina County Fiber and its partners. We're so excited that they're going to call Medina County home. The benefits of competition cannot be emphasized enough. Competition encourages innovation, it helps drive down costs, it helps improve customer service, so we're really excited about this opportunity. Thanks to Medina County Fiber, residents will now have more choice, especially in the areas where there isn't any choice at all. And we have many areas in Medina County where there's one choice, and that's it. And so competition will be a wonderful thing. Open access is such a great way to deliver internet-based services. We're going to see some of them demonstrated here today. It means that our community will always have choice, and that truly is something to celebrate. Something else to celebrate is that Medina County Fiber is putting its money where its mouth is. They are going to take some office space locally. They are going to be opening that demonstration center locally, and most importantly, they are going to be hiring locally. Medina County is ready for competition, and I say let's bring it on. Thank you so much.
mentioned, Village of Seville is where we'll be begin to place shovels to ground, as they say. And one of the reasons that was chosen was not only because of utility poles, but Seville basically opened their arms to us to just help us in any way possible. So I'd like to introduce Mayor Carter, who not only has been a great supporter of this project, but also has fed us very well in previous meetings. So Mayor Carter.
I want to say that it wasn't just me. I'm lucky enough to stand up here, but when Dave and Neighborly Fiber and their team came to the Village of Seville, there wasn't one elected official who didn't go, me first, I wanted my house first. And it's just been a team effort, which it is always a team effort in Seville. So hopefully I have my pages right. We're here today because of communications and desperate for better internet service. In February, the Village of Seville hosted a meet and greet. The Medina County Fire Team came. It was a mix of Seville residents from Guilford Township, as well as elected officials from all over the county. I remember telling Dave, I think it's going to be 30. He said, nope, it's going to be 50. It was closer to 70, wasn't it? I mean, they were standing in the hallway. So there's a need for this. It was in the middle of the afternoon as well, from 3 to 5. So to have that room full at that time speaks volumes. It was on a Wednesday, and like I said, standing room only. This is how important this project is to our communities. Our residents are hungry. We have residents on fixed incomes whose bills from Spectrum keep rising and the quality of service keeps declining. We have restaurants that can't process credit cards because the internet is too slow or just is unreliable. We have families who are unable to work from home, unable to video call residents, unable to watch Netflix of all things because right in the middle you get that circle of death. This is 2019, for God's sakes. Can you believe we have children who can't do their homework because the internet is too slow? Too slow to even do research. Too slow to transmit the completed work assignment to their teachers, which I personally can say from a granddaughter's point of view, by the time the teacher got it, when she got to the school where there was internet, it probably went through 20 times. Because the frustration of a kid who knows that has to be there and she can't get it over there. So, here are the possible options that we have. Go to the library, if there's one close, and if not, they have transportation. Poach Wi-Fi at McDonald's or Hardee's, just to get online, because there isn't any internet where they live. We have job seekers who can't fill out applications because it's all done online now. So if they've got an internet that isn't fast enough, or the library isn't open, what are they supposed to do? Our villages and townships are screaming for change, and change is coming. It's called fiber internet. People are going to feel like they died and went to heaven when Medina County Fiber is up and running. And I know this because just a couple weeks ago, I personally had trouble with my email. So I go on, I find the phone number, I call. Right away, it's a language barrier. This time was happening in the middle of the morning. Then I was having a problem getting online. And I'm apologizing because my internet isn't working, but it's theirs that I'm on the phone with. So the young lady says, do you know what package you have? And I said, basic. She said, do you know what speed you have? Heck no, I don't know what speed I have. She goes, let's do a diagnostic. She said, your plan shows that you have 10 by 2 for $49.99. The result of my actual speed, you might be wondering, 6.4 by 2.4. The question I was asked when the speed result came back, are there any other devices running in your home? No, I was the only one there and I had TV on. The solution the Spectrum employee suggested is I go to a higher tier package. A higher tier package of 100 by 100 for $65.99. It's like, really? my basic isn't working, why would I go fiber? So I didn't fall for it. And in reality, I should have asked for a discount, but I wasn't thinking that far. So they wanted me to pay for higher, and I wasn't even getting what I was supposed to get. Needless to say, I still have the basic, never offered to adjust my monthly charge, but I did get my email issue fixed. Still slow, but I did get it fixed. I'm wanting residents to stay strong and don't fall for the propaganda. Because I don't know, if you're like me, I don't understand this stuff. But it's not working now. So why would we sign up for something that isn't working now? I know sometimes when I hear the neighborly team come, it's like, this has got to be too good to be true. But you know what? It can't be as bad as what we have. Why we don't take a leap of faith, each and every one of you in this room, and say, you know what? I'm not going to take it anymore. We've got an opportunity to step up and put our county on the map for fiber to our home. As mayor, I pride myself in giving 110% in everything I do. I don't expect others to do that, but what I do expect is to get what I am at least paying for. I want to emphasize the point Brian made earlier. You've got to let the Medina County Fiber folks know that you want this. You have to go out there and sign up like they have asked. It's fast, it's affordable, it's reliable, it's fiber internet. Go to www.medinafiber.com to take the survey and express your interest. And then tell all your neighbors, friends, and family. The faster we all complete those surveys, the faster we'll have service. We need to be realistic though. Construction is going to start over the summer, and the first few homes will be lit in the fall. It's going to take a few months until your home may be completed. We want fiber internet badly, but we have to be patient, which I had a problem doing that, I want to fix yesterday, and let the crews do their work. What's going to happen while Medina Fiber is building a network? In other communities, it's a known fact, Spectrum has lowered its prices to match what's being offered, and they are sneaky about it. They make it look like they're matching or exceeding the speed of fiber, but don't be fooled. It's the same copper wire that's been proven unreliable. Fiber internet from this network, made just for us, is our future. Don't fall for the phony offers from Spectrum, please. I'm standing here before you as an example of how good government is supposed to work. All of us up here, all of you that are out there, it's not about the party, and it's not about who won or lost. It is about doing what will benefit our constituents. Because fast fiber internet, it's not just about the future, it's about now, right now. We have it right here in this room. Something so simple is just last Sunday, my daughter and I were surfing the net for Easter recipes. I'm on my Apple laptop, Kelly's on the iPad. The internet was so slow it ended up with us off. So guess what we did instead? We cleaned house. God knows we did it. That's not what we wanted to do. We, for so long, have been held hostage to one provider, which Time Warner, now Spectrum, do not have fiber. They only have propaganda. We have an opportunity to be treated better with a true high-speed product called fiber. This is not my first rodeo with County Fiber. I have been involved with Medina County Fiber since 2010. My Village Industrial Parkway wouldn't be what it is today if it wasn't for the county fiber. We've got B3, there's one of them back there that can testify to that. And now, residents of villages and townships are going to be given the opportunity and the experience for high-speed fiber in their homes. Fiber's the future. Smart TVs, smart security cameras, fiber fast enough to transmit hard device information. We are being given an opportunity to lay out the groundwork for next generation, right here today, right here in Medina County. I am standing before you asking you to trust us. But again, you also must be patient, and please don't fall for the propaganda. Take a leap of faith, because we all deserve better, but it won't get done overnight. So on behalf of fellow mayors, trustees, elected officials, I express support for the Medina County Fiber Project, and I urge the community to continue its strong support as well. Please go online, www.medinafiber.com, and get signed up. And don't forget, tell your friends, family, and neighbors. Thank you.
So you heard a lot so far about fiber, speed, copper versus fiber, all those other things. But there's so much more to a fiber network. It is actually an integral piece of a county or city infrastructure. If we go back in time for just 10 or 15 seconds here, where did the cities grow up in our country? Back in the 1800s, they were on waterways. Then they grew up with the Transcontinental Railroad. Then we started to develop highways so we can connect all the different cities and move information quicker. And then airports came by, right? And the cities where people flocked to and started developing, where businesses went, it's where that infrastructure was. So it's really more than just getting you high-speed internet and voice and being able to watch your TV without it shutting off on you. It's really about economic development. It's about a way of life. It's about the development within your community. And we even see today companies that are looking to relocate in Medina County, one of the top 3 questions they ask is, do you have municipal fiber? Not just do you have fiber, but they want to know if the government is invested in the area where they're going to be bringing jobs and money. And one of the people in our county who is so integral in helping this fiber grow and moving the economic development needle, if you will, is the Executive Director, Bethany Denver, of the Medina County Economic Development Corporation, who is going to talk with us for a little time here.
Thank you, Dave. It's great to see so many of our board members from Medina County Economic Development here today. Just so that you know, we also serve as the administrator of the Medina County Port Authority. And we wouldn't be here today talking about a fiber to the home project if it hadn't been for the commitment made in 2010 by the Medina County Port Authority to build the backbone of the fiber network. And it's great to see some of our Port Authority board members here today, including our chair, Beth Shaw. So thank you. The Medina County Fiber Network is really run by Nick Corrado. He sits right outside my office, and I know the hours that he puts in and the hard work that he is putting into this fiber network, which is truly benefiting our commercial and industrial sectors in Medina County. It is directly responsible for attracting new businesses to Medina County. Over the past 3 years alone, we have seen over $343 million of new capital investment in Medina County by our fiber network customers alone. They've created just over 1,000 new jobs with a new payroll of $34 million, retaining 5,100 jobs, and have created or absorbed 2.2 million square feet of space. That's the power of the fiber network in helping to support the growth of our businesses. What do those numbers mean? If we divide the projects created by our fiber network customers, by the county as a whole, we are seeing nearly half of the total payroll created, half of the total capital investment, half of the square footage and new jobs, and nearly 3/4 of jobs retained. That's the power of the fiber network. So to say that our community has benefited from fiber would be an understatement. But our business community needs to make sure that the environment where their own employees work and live continues to grow and benefit from technology advances. So as an economic development advocate, we have been very supportive of the Medina County Fiber to the Home project. It It rounds out our current fiber offerings to our commercial and industrial customers, and we believe will have a tremendously positive impact on the quality of life of current and future residents, as you heard from Mayor Carter. We need fiber for everyone, and I love the fact that Dave's email extension is fibercounty.com. We even have an anthem. You haven't heard it yet, but maybe one day. But we need fiber for everyone in the county, and that's what makes this so unique. You hear of other cities that have, gigabit city. I don't know of any one county that has actually tried to build an entire county out with fiber to the home, and yet that is what we're doing because the need is truly great. Right now, we have entire neighborhoods in Medina County without internet service. We've seen, one telecommunication company will only go this far, and the other telecommunication company will only go this far. And so we have these gaps in the middle where there's no service. This fiber to the home project is going to solve that problem. Those who are fortunate to have service, as you heard, constantly complain that they're being held hostage by big providers with high prices and spotty service. As a resident of the city of Medina, I'm personally very much looking forward to being able to take advantage of fiber to the home when it comes north. So we're so excited about having this fiber to the home offering. We know that it's going to provide affordable, reliable, and fast fiber internet positions, and it positions us so well for the future. So we're so glad to welcome Neighborly's investment and their first internet service provider, iFiber, right here in Medina County. So thank you all so much.
Thank you, Bethany. When you speak with Bethany after the meeting, say nice things about me. She's my landlord, and I don't want to lose my spot in her office. So as has been mentioned, we do have what we call our anchor or our first internet service provider. 20 years on the residential side for open networks. We are very pleased that iFiber is joining us today. So I'm going to have Kelly Ryan, the CEO of iFiber, talk a little bit about his company. Kelly?
Okay, so I'm going to have to cheat here a little bit. Sorry, I started 2 years old with age and all of a sudden I get these things going here. So, all right, so I'm CEO of iFiber Communications. My name is Kelly Ryan. We are the largest and most established open access provider. Open access, we'll talk about that in a second. We've heard a lot about it. It's powerful. For small communities, this is something that you're going to want to learn a little bit about and understand what's different. Why is this all happening? What makes it unique? So we earned that by delivering next generation services to really small town America, growing communities that want to fight to get those students back, get those people, those young ones that move out, go to college and find jobs out there in different cities, giving opportunities for school districts, giving opportunities for news organizations, first responders. I mean, it just goes and goes. So the other thing about iFiber is that we emphasize our local presence. We entrench into local markets. We're going to put multiple offices right here in your county. We're going to be hiring people. We're going to be buying trucks and vehicles, and we're going to invest. We're in 8 different counties in the state of Washington. We were born and bred of PUDs. Does everybody know what a public utility is? For the Northwest? It's a power company, but it's owned by the people. And that's really, at the end, we are very used to being very transparent and answering to you, answering to the people. That's really what the company's built about. So, open access. You're been around for 30 years. Open access is, government builds it, service providers step up, and they say, look, we're going to customers, we're going to secure the customers, we've got great products, we're going to sell them to those customers, and we use that network to get our services out to consumers. That's been done in Europe, but that's really been done, and certainly hasn't been done here in the nation yet. But it has in Washington. Back about 20 years ago, when the PUD stepped up, again, PUDs answer to the people, they're owned by ratepayers. They stepped forward and the ratepayers said, we want broadband. We're out here in the middle of nowhere, okay, we're a small community, but none of the incomes are coming in, nobody's going to invest money into our communities, and we want, that college. We got all these things and these wonderful opportunities, low cost of living, we want to find a chance. And broadband is a huge, huge component to that. So that's where the PUDs got started, that's where the whole thing, open access started, and that's where we started, okay? So what does this mean to Medina County? Well, it means the end of the monopoly. You guys tired of having a company, take it or leave it? We've heard the same story over and over. So it also, and I want to be careful here, reliable technology, let's just say we're coming out with latest and greatest. This is going to be first generation, absolutely. You can't get a better system when you're taking fiber to the home. Remember, the fiber stays forever. Technology is updated every 5 years. That means that when that fiber reaches your home, that's there forever. It'll never have to be replaced. Equipment may be, additional services may be, but that's the beauty of fiber. Okay? And everybody connected. You've heard that multiple times here. This works if we can get the community to go out there, charge champions, we call them volunteer founders here, but sign up, get in your neighborhood, knock on some doors, go talk to some folks. They got to get the message out. Because if it doesn't happen, the incumbents win, the monopolies win. The only way we can beat them is to get out there and get the message out there. Okay? So, let's talk about services. This is always fun part, man. I talk about this stuff all day long. Okay, so you got 100 meg internet, two-way speed. You got 500 meg internet, two-way speed. You got gigabit speed also coming. You're going to be, this community, this county is going to be, it's going to be a gig community. How exciting is that? You're going to be able to say that, low guy. I hope you guys say that, but okay. But and all these Seville and Westview and all these areas are going to be able to say we are gigabit communities. Now, I know that may not mean anything right now, but the fact that we've been doing this for 20 years in a small town America, it means a lot. That means jobs coming in your community. That means living wage jobs, economic diversity. These are all very vital things to successes of small communities. I'm from a small town. My crew, everybody in my company is from a small town. I didn't set out for that. It's kind of weird. Somehow I'm right doing it. So, all said and done, small town America, we've seen our towns, farming communities. I'm from the Midwest, Missouri, right across Iowa. In the 70s, farming took a massive hit. And our downtown, which was flourishing, was an amazing place to grow up. A ghost town. How many places have we seen that become places like that? That's what changes here. Broadband is a vital component to that success, to making that never happen in your community. Now, here in Ohio, you guys have grown like crazy. This is just one more tool in the tool belt that you're going to be able to use to say, we're getting it out here. We've invested out here. Bring your jobs, bring your companies. We're ready. Gosh, man, I got one piece left, so I'll just hurry up here. All right, so, and we also bring television. You know, I'm going to take 2 seconds to on TV. Everybody here is probably used to what we would call linear TV. Okay, so we're at 7 p.m. you watch a program, you know, and maybe some of you have PBR, you got satellite, and some of you, you know, a higher rate. We're going to launch a television product. It's a fantastic product. Okay, it's not a problem, but it is something you got to think about. The future of television is not going to be a linear TV product. Right? This is this right back there, you know. It's going to be on demand. How do you watch TV? When we talk about cable cutters, you know, this sets the stage that you no longer need cable. You can watch content on demand. You don't need a set-top box. Just go get a little Roku, plug it on your television. In fact, the newer TVs, which are some of these right here, now I'm not here to promote Samsung or Vizio, Samsung. But anyway, the whole thing is that you're going to be able to watch all those things without even needing a Roku. And so when they're talking about programming and how that's about to change the industry, you're going to be right at the head of that. And for a lot of you, I know my generation, you grew up landline, you have kids, you know, all that, and TV. My guy over there at 6 p.m., we're going to watch the local news and do the whole thing. Sports were there, you know, Sunday and every Thursday night. And that's still a bit of a problem. By the way, if you're going to watch football, you got to have your local content, local channels to do that. So if I cut my cable, how do I accomplish that? Well, we do have a product that we're going to be launching here in Medina. It's our iFiber TV, or it's basically iTV. And it's just kind of a stopgap, but it allows you to watch those linear channels, but not through cable. You can watch it right through Roku, right through your Fire Stick, and very soon, for those that got the Apple TV box, you know, we'll be able to watch that as well. And this is just the beginning. What will happen is those local content providers will sell you what you want. We, for years, been pointing, our technology has been out for 20 years that a customer goes through and select the channels they want. But we haven't been able to do it because content providers won't let us go. Now, you have the power. You've had the power, but without fiber, without a consistent, solid, big pipe, you wouldn't be able to successfully pull that off. We have, and you're going to get it now, okay? Okay, so I was supposed to talk about the Internet of Things. The last thing is that your homes, you guys that are not, are packed full of stuff that take a little bandwidth here, a little bandwidth there. Okay, we were just doing a test last night. How much you have to your house?
Well, so I have 19 devices that are hooked up to my router.
And 3 kids and what?
Forget the Wi-Fi.
All right, you got 3 kids.
This is 10.
And what do you got in yours?
I got 21, and I went there, so.
You probably like that 5. Bottom line is everything, if you think about it, from your refrigerator to your heating systems to, these things are all moving towards Wi-Fi in the home, but they all need a rural connection to the outside. And that's where it's, the speed is one thing. Oh, yeah, I got 100 meg. But really, the speed is just one component of all this. The other part is you need big pipes. Because what happens is you want everything to be fast, so everything adds up as you start assimilating these things. So that's the other part of it, is that you're going to have both in this infrastructure. Okay, so I talked about the opportunity here in the community. I can't overly emphasize what's coming. It's going to be very exciting. The costs, when you go out and have, like in some of our counties, when they appraise a home, they have it accessible. Because if you look at your listings in real estate, they'll say it has broadband connection. But in the counties we serve, they've actually got a new section down the middle, so they say it's fiber accessible. It's actually has access to fiber. They give anywhere from about $300 of an increase of value to that home, almost to $10,000 over in areas like Kitsap. That's a value to your home, okay? But later on, if you sell the home or anything like that, that makes that very unique. And people, once they discover what it's really about, will be seeking that out, so. Okay, so the final part is worth the wait. All right, so you cannot, I've seen this before, know it is coming. They're going to come, they're going to say the incumbents, sign up now, they're going to give you deals that you've never seen before. Just wait, okay? It is coming. So you soon, very soon will have it. Just be careful, don't get wrapped into 2-year deals. So we've been, we're aware of it, we're going to be out in the streets, we've got a demo center that we're going to be bringing out to your local markets. It's about an 18-foot trailer, we bring it out, that way you guys can come out there. Go home, have dinner, step out the front door, head down the street, we'll be parked right there. And come on in, we'll show you what all this information is about. We'll have people answering questions, they'll be, anywhere, we'll be at all your events. We're here to answer the questions and help you get into the process, but you've got to go to the website to sign up. You've got to help us get people interested and aware of what's happening to get them to sign up. You got to be a pretty good on that. You all get that right? I said it, you all. It doesn't mean that. All right, so again, it's all about you. Okay? Here again, it's Medina. I can't tell you how exciting it is for us. How exciting it is for our company. How excited I am for you guys and what's about to happen, and we're going to be a part of it. So I thank you very, very much.
So Kelly talked about a lot of new features, things that might intimidate you a little bit, but don't fear. As he mentioned, iFiber has trailers, there will be stores available, plenty of education on how to learn about all these new things, which you're just going to look at, and then after you use them, you're going to say, how on earth did we do things without them before? One very interesting study came out last year. 500,000 buildings were looked at that had fiber, and the areas around them that didn't. In this study, it showed that not only did all these great features come with the fiber, but about a 4 to 5% increase in the value of the home or the building where fiber was installed occurred. You could see how our economy is recognizing the importance of fiber because of what it can do. And one of the big areas which fiber is really bringing to residents is in the area of telemedicine. Imagine if you're at home, you have diabetes, or maybe you have AFib and need to monitor your heart. If you can monitor that 24 hours a day, real time, and send that information up to a doctor, a specialist at a hospital that isn't even near you, but maybe that person is one of the best in the country, and you have access to that because of the high-speed fiber. Well, we have James Cohen here, founder of Docity, which is a telemedicine application, and James is going to tell us a little bit about it. Where is it? There you go. Go ahead, James.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thankful that another short guy was here before me to cover this. My name is James Cowan. I'm the CEO and founder of Docity Health. Docity is a connected care platform that allows patients and providers to connect face-to-face from home through a smartphone, tablet, or computer. And we're just so excited to have a partner in what's happening here in Medina County and to partner with both iFiber and Neighborly and Medina Fiber. Our system does a lot of really interesting things, but I think it's important to talk about the background and the why behind telemedicine. I have a family of a wife and 5 children, and just when we think that we've got everything figured out, one of our children does a teeth first nosedive off of the top bunk, or my son comes down with something somewhere between The Living Dead and The Exorcist, and we don't know what's going on. And so we find ourselves again begging for an appointment and trying to get in, and sometimes it can take hours or even days to get an appointment for something. Those complications are made even graver by the fact that for those who live in rural communities and for those who are trying to age in place, they wait even longer and have an even tougher time getting access to care. As a veteran who gets his health care from the VA, I understand a little bit of what you're going through. And so we started Docity to solve one big problem. Why is it that I can order a pizza with an emoji, but when I'm sick, I have to beg for an appointment, wait for an appointment, and then sit in a waiting room while my son moves a bead along a wire from left to right, or I read the 1992 Sports Illustrated. And what we found out was that that's not the doctor's problem, and that can be solved through just a little bit of application of technology. And so like Neighborly and Medina County Fiber, we are an open access network for healthcare, meaning that we establish a connection in a home that allows you to meet with a doctor face-to-face. We will allow any clinic or any provider who is a part of our network to join our network and deliver care to the people who live in this community. We envision a world where 30% of all in-person visits are eliminated by 2030, 30% of the cost. And we can partner with places like Medina County to create what will be in Ohio, the very first ever countywide healthcare service provider. We're very excited to be a part of this program and just so pleased that we get a chance to partner with the people in this room and the people standing behind me. We can't wait to serve you and also can't wait to show you our technology here in just a few minutes. My name is James Cowan from Docity Health. The patient will see you now.
So putting this all together, getting the word out, takes a lot of work, and we're very lucky to have Bob Knight, partner Harrison Edwards, the largest PR firm working with municipal projects headquartered in New York City. And Bob is going to take over the podium and handle the Q&A session. Bob?
Nice introduction. I've heard all the jokes about my name before, so we can go over that afterwards. Thank you, everyone, for being here. It's so nice to see so many familiar faces for being out in the community mayor. Nice to see you again also. I just wanted to acknowledge a few folks who are here from the Medina County Fiber team. Ava, Lindsay, Dan, if you guys could just stand up just very briefly. These are folks you can come talk to with any questions. And I also want to acknowledge some really important folks from the Foresight team. They're going to be engineering this project when it kicks off this summer, and when the first homes are going to be lit towards the end of the year. Lauren Bender, Lee Comer, Roger, and Chris are going to be all here in the community. And I want to acknowledge Janet Donald, from a resident of Guilford Township. We heard Janet's story when we've been out and about and meeting the community. And her story was absolutely shocking when she shared her story that she lives on a street where there is no internet connectivity whatsoever. None. It's 2019, no internet connectivity. And Janet called up the carrier, rhymes with Gectrum, and I almost used the R and I realized I probably shouldn't rhyme with that. But Janet, they quoted Janet to just run basic copper wire, not fiber, basic copper, $23,000 to bring basic internet service to her house. That is why all of us are here. And that's probably why all of you are here. We want to change that. We want to change that really, really quickly. So I'm sure there's a million questions. We'll start with questions from the press, and then we'll open it up to the floor as well. So first questions. Who's that?
How affordable will it be?
How affordable will it be?
So 100 meg internet, symmetrical 100 meg will be $49.95. And that's what we're launching now. Free install for all services to get hooked up in the system. Remember, to get hooked up to fiber isn't costing anything either. We need to make sure we get that message out. I think sometimes people get the opinion, too good to be it's real. What you don't want to do is wait on it. We've been in a few markets where we launched it, and somebody say, oh, wait till whatever reason. Later on, be cautious enough. So, point is about the crews are there, everything's up and going, we're going to try base, make sure you get the doors in, get hooked up.
So the basic package is going to be much, much, much faster than what we have now today. And it's going to be, looks like it's going to be more affordable too.
Yeah, you're 100 meg over your 10 and 2, which we're paying 10 and 2. You get the full 100 and 100 meg.
Does everyone understand what 100 over 100 or 10 over 2 means? It's not fractions, believe me, it's much easier than that. The download speed is the upper number, so that's 10 that Mayor Carter has, which is woefully slow. It's actually below broadband, but the FCC classifies as broadband standards, which are woefully slow. And 2 is the upload speed, so it's like a trickle. 100 over 100 is like speeds that you haven't even imagined, and that's the slowest package here. You're going to be going from the trickling garden hose to Niagara Falls, essentially overnight on 5 hours. Next question.
When is it coming to the city?
When is it coming to the city of Medina? The mayor of Medina. I saw him here earlier. Anyone?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Again, it's going to be based on feedback. We have gotten a lot of feedback outside of the initial phase ones that we're talking about. We're estimating that the whole county will be built out in 5 years. The first phase in 12 months. If Medina shows interest, they'll be one of the next cities that we go to. So again, it's all based on the community driving where we go. So it will be in that 5-year time frame. Medina residents, tell us to bring those in. We'll come.
I know as soon as possible, okay?
Yeah.
Get the word out.
So we're going to build where the demand is the strongest. So if you go to medinafiber.com, right here in front of the podium, and share us your name, share your address. If we can get a whole street ready to go, we'll be right there. Questions from the community, sir?
So when you say an area of higher density, we just get the higher priority?
So that's a great question. If you thought that from the beginning, you would think we'd be going to Medina first. But the areas that need it first are the southern parts of the county. So we are going there first because they need it, and that demand in the rural areas are going to be higher because of the struggles that we've had currently with connectivity. And we've had a lot of the same feedback from Medina and other areas as well, Wadsworth and other areas that have given us surveys saying, we don't like what we have here, come here as well. But the way we're processing and building it out, we're going to be going pretty much from south to north of the county. But that's the other reason why we're partnering with Medina County Fiber Networks. The middle mile has connection through Medina. So again, with good feedback from those areas, we'll build out with those first. But we wanted to address the people that needed it the most. And we felt that the cities and the villages that we're targeting first, they need it the most right now. But we plan on going across the whole county. When you think of a fiber network, we have to plan it from outside in to make sure we have enough fibers to serve everybody. Because if you think about it, you're going to have one fiber going to your house. And so to make sure we have that capacity, we'll plan from outside in and then we'll construct from inside out. So we'll be reconstructing from the inside out in Medina, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Again, just keep showing us we're coming. I mean, you tell us, we'll be there, okay?
So it's nearly summertime. It's joking, not a little bit longer than we wanted to. We're going to have some demonstrations here in a few moments, so we'll take one or two more brief questions. As you're thinking of those questions, put your hands up, please. I'll come right to you. The iFiber is going to be displaying. You're going to be able to test drive some of the features on the network. James is going to have a display on Docity. We're going to do real telehealth appointments where we're going to be looking inside someone's ear and connecting to a doctor, and the doctor will have that. And then Corning is going to be here. We're going to actually show some actual fiber strands. We're going to put them right up on the table, show what it's going to look like outside the home, how it comes inside your home, where the fiber strands go with your moldings and whatnot. It's really, really interesting. So that'll be right up here in just a few moments. We had just a minute. Yes. Hi.
Security, everything down there and anti-virus and all that, will be computer company, will that government?
Sure.
It is included. It is included. So it's not going to be, listen, hacker wants to be in there, you're going to be in there, right? But we want to put as many obstacles as possible. And we already put a router upstream. Anything else you're putting in the home, this is another layer of protection.
And because of the way it's an open access network, our operators looking into it to make sure everything's fine. We're looking into it to make sure everything's fine. They're looking into it. There's so many levels of this. It helps the open access actually creates even more security for
And I think that's an important point, because it's actually the question that comes up the most about security and data and privacy. We don't keep any data. We're not Facebook. These are not Mark Zuckerberg or cable company. Yes, it's very good. Cable companies keep the data.
You got a modem there, you're cruising around, they're watching what you're doing and they're selling that information. We do not do that. That device does not do that. It's not capable.
And there's a long history of not doing that too. And I'm sure you have to put folks here in the room in touch with some of your customers in Washington State, and I'm sure that they'll be able to tell you the same thing. Sir?
Yes, question for Colleen, Commissioner, in regards to your action and efforts as far as the right of way. When construction projects are going on, I think that's what you know. If you could speak to that as well.
Dave Corrado and I are going out to all the townships to get a blanket right away for all the roads that are not county roads or ODOT roads. And so we've been to Montville, we're on target to go to Sharon, and then we're going to Medina Township and asking for these blanket right-of-ways to make the project go quicker, to educate the trustees in those areas, because we want to get it to everyone as quick as possible. Thank you.
I'm Smith, I was the economic director in Brunswick, and part of the home is one of the things that I heard the most when we first started talking about building fiber originally. And I had hosted meetings to have it for the business community, but then all the residents also wanted it. What would it take for us to hop over Medina? Brunswick is actually the largest population. If you figure Brunswick comes up hill, we have about 45,000 people.
So I don't know how Tim got in here. I really thought we had got police over there. No, it's funny that Tim brings it up because actually tomorrow we have a meeting with Father Speck over at St. Ambrose, who is very interested in a campus-wide wireless. He'll be joining the Medina County Fiber Network for his voice and internet. And we're going to talk about getting the word out to Brunswick. So again, it's the MedinaFiber.com. Construction is predicated on who's yelling the highest, yelling the most, but we're going to move really as fast as we can. So we're going to wrap up so you can see some of these demos, but before we do, I would like to give a big thank you to Denise Testa, who's standing in the back here. Denise runs this beautiful place out here, and her group helped us morning, noon, and night over the last couple weeks and really jumped through hoops, so thanks so much. So again, thank you for coming. coming out. Get the word out. Take the surveys. This is your network. You don't have to be held hostage any longer. And enjoy the demonstrations. Thanks.
But not guessing as to its hand Chase, if I have my child, sit him on my lap and I can say, Doc, is that your fiction or what you're with? If we need to, go out and see. Don't want to go too far. Let's see how it works.